Hi everyone, Comic Book Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Yu-Gi-Oh! The Movie Anime Film Review. Now, before I do this review, I personally want to do this out of respect and tribute to Kazuki Takahashi, who is known for being the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! And known for doing one of the most popular card games in the series. Now, Yu-Gi-Oh! I would say is a popular Japanese children's card game that started off with Season 0 and the manga series, and then over time we would get a proper Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, which had Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, 5D, Sextile, and so on. And yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Would also get its first time as a movie in the Western soil, as well as being the second Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie in Japan. And yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Movie is meant to feature Yugi and the gang dealing basically after the events of the Battle City Finals. And we kind of see how Yugi has now kind of gotten the fame, respect, and kind of people wanting to kind of duel him for his god cards. And we see how Kaiba is determined, also wanting to kind of find a way to beat the god cards. And of course, he does eventually find a way to beat them. And over the course of the film, it's basically Yugi and Kaiba dueling, with Yugi and his friends learning about the Pyramid of Light and the dangers of the threat known as Anubis. Now, the film, I would say, feels more like a giant promotional brand towards the new cards, because I think when you've got cards like Blue Eye Shining Dragon, Pyramid of Light, Water Pond, as well as other cards, it was clear that this was done as a big promotional material. And I know in DVD box sets, as well as at the movie theatres, you could actually get the exclusive cards. I remember my mate Aaron, who I knew at my first college, said that he managed to get all of them. Well, at a movie theatre place, they weren't selling as much. And I think for the most part, the film does kind of have the standard Yugi Kaiba duel. It kind of has the dangerous prophecy thing. And you kind of have the kind of shadow game-like story, because yeah, we know Yugi's gonna win. We know Kaiba is not gonna listen to any warnings. And I think for the most part, I think the villain Anubis sort of works, but I just think isn't really thrown in too well. Again, I think what makes the English dub work is I think Scott Ravel really was a wasted talent, because when he did play the Shredder, he played this big, intimidating threat the Turtles never dealt before. And I think when you do also have the cards in the film, they actually have their names and words on it. In the dub version of the anime, they mainly just were just cards with just pictures on. And again, it showed you there was opportunities. Even the animators the dubbers for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dub had opportunities to do that, but never did. And I think for the most part, yeah, the film has the standard thing, like character kind of going against their rival in a big fight. We've seen that before. We've also seen how, yeah, it does feel like some elements were inspired for Season 4. And I wouldn't be surprised if the movie was meant to be a prototype version to Waking the Dragons. I also know that in the English dub, it was basically 89 minutes, while the Japanese dub is 102 minutes. And I know there were scenes that were removed, one of which was having one of the duelists during Joey using Ejection Fairy Lily that would have used her syringe to become incredibly big. I guess the 4Kids team thought that would have been inappropriate. I think, while the movie's not bad, it's kind of interesting to see these other cards being used. And yeah, we would see kind of Yugi using some of these cards. And I think there's also a reason, I think, why Kaiba really never used Blue Eyes Shining Dragon, because I think he felt like after beating the God cards, I think he just felt like that was the end of it and didn't really want to do anything else with it. I think, well, Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie isn't perfect, and yeah, I can see why it was a critical and commercial failure, because I think this should have been more of a direct-to-video film, and it really showed what it was trying to be. So I think the film still deserves a thumbs in the middle. If you were a fan of the card games, or just gave up because of all the extra cards that were thrown in after Sextol, then this is your movie. And once again, rest in peace, Kazuki Takahashi. You were definitely the king of card games. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.